Alright guys, welcome back to our videos.
Video number two.
Video number two. This is take two. We had a little technicality. We delivered gold a while ago. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a chance to see it unless we put out a blooper track. Again, I'm BalorFan85. I'm here with the guy who does not need a YouTube handle. We shall simply call you Kevin.
Where? He owes me money.
He's somewhere around here, and I think he's wearing the same shirt. I think both of us are wearing the same shirt, which means we're probably doing videos back to back. We're overachievers.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. So we're going to do this video on a title that we both have, but we have different versions. In 2000 something or other, WWE came out with the Undisputed title. There were several versions, but in the replica form, there's only two versions. So we have version 1 and version 2. And the difference is pretty big.
Gotta make sure that's outside. Okay, little disclaimer, I'm terrified of spiders, and there was a spider on my window, and I wanted to make sure it was outside, not inside, because if that spider was inside, I'd have to move.
And I didn't know what was going on, so I just proclaimed television silence. Maybe we'll be able to do some elevator music or something if I can learn how to do that. We'll see. We're going back to the Undisputed title. There were two versions of the replicas made. There was version 1 and version 2. And the difference is just pretty big. So do you want to show off yours first, and then I'll break out the big gun?
Alright, so this is your version 1 WWE Undisputed title. This title is very important to me. If you watched our past video about the big gold titles, I'm not trying to be repetitive, but like I said,
you can ask these people. That's all my videos are.
I've always wanted this and the big gold title because thinking back to WrestleMania, where Eddie Guerrero won this from Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit won his from Triple H, and they embraced each other in the middle of the ring, and these were the two titles you saw. That is the memory that sticks out for me with those two titles more than any other memory. And although I will never be able to get this signed by Eddie Guerrero, unfortunately.
You don't have a DeLorean, do you?
No.
Okay.
Working on it.
Well, we'll see. We'll come back. If you created the DeLorean, you will come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nope. Nothing.
He didn't create a
DeLorean. But I do have an autographed picture of Eddie Guerrero, and I have another I'm Your Pappy shirt, and that'll be framed next to this belt. Shut up. Next to this belt, and that'll be as close as I get. But the pros and cons to this belt are, well, the cons you'll see when you see his version, but the pros to this, you feel like a champion with this belt. Up until, actually, I really can't even say that the titles now are nice and they're flashy and they're sparkly, but this, in my opinion, was the last time, with the exception of the big gold, was the last time WWE on the main roster had a championship that looked like a championship, that made you feel like a champion, that you saw this and there was no debating on what the title meant. 4mm plates. It does have the removable nameplate, but somebody forgot to tell me you remove plates from the back.
I didn't know that.
So I tried to remove them from the front, and to this day, the only damages to this belt are right there on the screw where I tried to take them off, and they didn't move. But like I said, beautiful belt. Love this belt, and this truly is a world championship belt.
So that's the V1. Like you said, you know, it's pretty much the same reasons why I fell in love with the Undisputed title. It was actually the very first replica I ever had. All the replicas that I've bought, I still have. I'm not a flipper. I don't sell belts. I don't trade belts. These are our babies. Are they not?
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Once you get into it, you know.
People have asked me if I wouldn't mind letting go of a belt. I mean, I didn't get into it to sell or anything. My biggest thing is, if I wanted to sell it, I wouldn't have bought it.
So without further ado, V1. V2, and they actually look about the same from this point of view. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring it up. It's
That's
still
a lot
relatively the same.
No, you can see a lot
There's
better.
a huge difference. I'm going to set it down. We're going to put it down right here. That's the difference in the V1 and the V2. I mean, you can see right here, this is massive.
He's only talking about belt sizes, people.
No, I'm a big guy. What can I say? Let me put this back up. So this is the V2. This is the version. This is the version that Taker had. That's the version that Eddie. Well, Eddie I think actually had the V2 in the laters. That's the one that Ric Flair debuted. Triple H held. Undertaker held. This goes to Brock Lesnar. This goes to Eddie Guerrero. This goes to JBL, and it's just a massive belt. Now again, if you look, these are 2mm plates. Back is pretty basic. This belt has been beat to hell. I've had it now for 13 years.
I believe that's the first belt you had, isn't it?
It is the first belt I had. I bought it.
First of 18.
Bought it from Wrestling Superstore, who still sell belts. They had a lot more belts back then, and there were a lot more belts I wish I could have. That had I known then what I know now, I'd have bought a ton of them. The WCW television title is still big on my list. The WCW US title. There's a lot, and we have a lot of belts. This one right here means a lot to me. This has been from house to house. This has been through. This was the first belt I had that got me into the marriage with my wife and everything. After that, she opened the floodgates, and I've got a ton of them now. But this Undisputed title is an amazing belt. It's an amazing piece.
How long would you say you've had that belt?
13 years.
Now, the reason I ask that is because 13 years. I knew he had it for a while because it's the first one he's ever had. He's had belts since I've known him. But 13 years, and you can see how well that belt stood up.
Well, it's got some scratches.
He made the comment that it's beat to hell, but I mean 13 years on anything. But the strap is still completely intact. The plates are still very legible. And I feel like that's the biggest advantage to the V2 versus the V1. I like the V1 because it's the original. It's the OG. It's the first one that we saw. And when we saw this belt, granted we just came from the Big Eagle belt, but
this was an iconic belt. I think it's still a lot of people's favorites.
In my lifetime, this is the belt that I remember being first. It just came in. They just transitioned over, but this was the one that they were using when I first got into it. So when I first got into watching wrestling. So when I think of where my love of wrestling started, it starts with this one. But with his being bigger, it's definitely more legible. If we back up 10, 15 yards, you're still going to know that this says champion. This still says World Wrestling Entertainment. We still call it wrestling, not entertainment. And they're wrestlers, not superstars. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. But it's a lot more legible. The further you get back from this, it just starts to blend and look like a black and gold blur. His is going to be more legible from further away. And it's just bigger. We're both bigger guys. He can wear his. I cannot.
This is the only belt I've ever been able to actually wear. I'm a bigger guy. This and now that I've got the spinner belt also. But the strap itself is just massive. I mean, it fits.
Took a whole lot of cows to make that strap.
It did. Now, the con along, like with every older WWE replica, the strap, and this is 13 years of flexible, of wearing it around my big tail. It's a lot more flexible than it used to be, but it's still going to be relatively stiff. Another con with the V2 is you're not going to be able to find it anywhere unless you look for somebody trying to sell it out of their collection. If you go to WWE shop right now and you buy an Undisputed, you're going to get the V1 just like he did.
If I could have got the V2, I mean, I'm not saying I would have because, like I said, this is the one that started it all. And that's really big for me because I like the originals. I like having the Pioneer, the Workhorse, and not taking anything away from this one, but this is the one where it started. But for my collection and showing people and flashing the belt off, I do believe I would want something more legible, something bigger, something that more people can wear. Because I do let people touch my belts. I'm not one of those belt Nazis that, no, that stays on the shelf, don't fucking touch it.
Basically what he's saying is size matters.
Moving on.
Oh, I thought we were moving on.
We are.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. So, again, if you're wanting a big, flashy belt, get the V2. You're probably going to spend more than retail on it, maybe, unless you find somebody who's got one a little bit beat up like mine. And otherwise, get the V1. I mean, they're both the same thing. One's just a little bigger. So, you got anything else you want to say about the Undisputed title?
No, I do believe that about covers it. We can honestly go on and on about these belts all day. We both feel very strongly about this belt. It's one of the more aesthetically pleasing belts we have, and our video's at 10 minutes, 30 seconds now, and we can honestly go until we're blue in the face, but we're not going to beat a dead horse.
No, we have some other belts to talk about.
If you are looking to start a collection or even add to a collection and you don't have this one, it is one of the ones that I would tell you to get, and if you didn't like it, even though I already have one, I will buy it from you, and you can go get a different one, because I will never not love this belt.
And if you're a bigger guy and you want to be able to actually wear a belt, because a lot of these, you know, if you weigh more than, I'd say, 250 pounds, you're kind of struggling to get a belt around your waist.
I'm at 280, and I can buckle the last buckle.
So I'd recommend the V2 if you're going to do that, but you're going to pay a little bit more because it's a V2. This happened, I forgot to tell you, this is actually a deluxe version I have, the V2. Back in the day with Wrestling Superstore, you had the adult replica, you had the deluxe version, you had the ultra deluxe version, which was supposedly a leather strap, and then you had the Master Series. This deluxe version, the deluxe version had a more deluxe strap. That's what they said. It's basically still a standard stock strap. Once you get to the ultra deluxe, it was 4mm plates. I kind of wish I'd have got it now, but I'm happy with what I got. Back in the day, this was, I think I paid $417 for it. And each time you went up until the Master Series, it was about another $100. So when you went to the Ultra Deluxe, you got the 4mm plates. It was an extra $100. So I kind of wish I'd have got that. Deluxes, Ultra Deluxes, they're maintaining their money pretty good. Master Series, I don't know if Master Series had an Undisputed. I know the Winged Eagle, the IC, they were Master Series versions, where they were about as close to the actual belt as you could without going Reggie Parks, without going Milliken or anything like that. And those belts still go $1,500 today. So I'd recommend, if you're a bigger guy, get the V2. If you just want a really good showpiece that you're going to put on a case, the V1 is just as good.
Like I said, that's another plus for me, is because, like I said, this belt will never be worn. It'll never be taken out. It'll never be signed by anybody. This is going into my Eddie Guerrero tribute along with a t-shirt, signed picture, and it's going to sit there. But like Wayne said, if you want one, if you're a bigger guy and you want one that you can wear, and when you go to shows, you want to be able to wear it other than just throwing it over your shoulder, the V2 is the way to go.
All right, I think we've talked about the Undisputed V1 and V2 enough. If you guys want us to do some more comparison videos, we have no problem doing that. Like, comment, subscribe, enjoy the videos, and please feel free to leave feedback, because we're kind of doing this flying at the seat of our pants right now. So like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys keep enjoying the videos.
See you later.